tomorrow.
Yeah, Gambit Nibs going down right now as well. One of those teams will not be looking it in today and fall into the very same category. Vitality versus Astralis, folks, and it is to be determined here on Dust2. A couple of changes, you'll notice it immediately from T-Spawn. The double doors cross, not so easy to spot. Expect some CT aggressions. Expect some early jumps as Lucky is to get that information safely. And Apex willing to take that fight. Xbox smoked, nade looks well placed. Oh, right on the money. Magisk and dupreeh operating at half health, and you can see that their intentions are clear. Lucky late long, commit to A, or at least flirt with that idea. The Xbox smoke to have given them that relatively for free.
Yeah, this is taking the pace out of it here. So they do have the space. They're waiting for a regress, feigning the footsteps out. The mid to B is called relatively clear here. They could smoke and go, but I think they're just posturing to play with the rotation, and they haven't actually drawn a player away from A. By doing this, you want to have that third man, that third A defender come back over towards CT, and they haven't, so they're just going to split B quickly.
All right, wow, this is a mix-up. Apex has dropped a nice defensive smoke that'll channel them into Masuta. Careful, Masuta, you're getting a bit keen for that one.
Lucky's flank.
Lucky a late flank. Yeah, oh, solid out of Masuta. The last 2 bullets. He has to do more. He has done more. dupreeh down, Lucky left alone, and yeah, got to try and close this gap. A little bit of flare in the strafe, but that will do nicely. And Masuta gets a pat on the back in a big way. He was isolated there, and he was taking ambitious duels, tucking into the site in time. That'll do.
You can see how they adjusted on the fly there, right? You have a couple of options once you get that space. You can go for the air execute, or you can go for the mid to B. Well, the mid to B was the call, but bang on. Masuta had a couple of key rounds over there on Vertigo to keep Vitality's hopes and dreams alive. And Lucky, well, the last man standing left in the clutch again, but a force buy through. It's going to be some scouts, some deagles into the mix here. Deep molly towards long will contain Astralis for now. And this is the same approach we have seen across both of the first 2 maps of play here. They just sit back, they wait out that early util, and then just creep through the path of least resistance. This time they'll make their way up catwalk again. They've got a boatload of smokes for an execute if they'd like.
It's a confident buyout of Masuta as well, and ZywOo both with the full Kev, no nade, M4. It should be fine for ZywOo to deal with this. Apex going to drop that smoke to segregate them, and they are just contact walking in. ZywOo has given them the contact, the smoke likely to follow.
They're just testing the water here. We're going to limp out one at a time. This is going to get dismantled.
Yeah, can't believe their luck. Just one duel after another. Apex pockets some extra change. Thank you, dupreeh. And Apex will make it a comfortable 3.
It feels like there's been absolutely no executes in this game. Like on Nuke, maybe a couple, right? Maybe a couple of top set pieces, maybe the odd smoke wall. But realistically, this entire series so far has just been walk to a point of contact, try and get the trades done, and if it falls in your favor, you win the round. So really quite lacking as far as tactical depth. Now, I know that was a force play, but they had so much utility in terms of smokes there to drop the one way, to drop the bridge smoke, to do all those goodies right there. But we're not going to get a whole lot in play, and now it's just going to be 2P2, well, make it 3P250s and a couple of Glocks. An aggressive maneuver for Apex up mid, and he caught with a nade in his hand, but the farming will begin.
Oh, lovely. That's exactly what you want to see. Apex is not dead. His teammate is. He might be too. ZywOo struggling to hit that tip of the Lucky head. And Kyojin puts them to bed. Okay, 3-0. They get their conversions. Everyone's taking it in turns to farm up a triple kill or such. Astralis now going to be whipping out their rifles. But you're right, though. In terms of like set pieces, it has been a very unusual state of affairs. In Nuke especially, we weren't really getting much more than a couple of wall smokes with no one really behind them. Some top pops. Feels like oh so long ago. Now, of course, Vertigo more recently in our minds. And very quick out of Vitality, whipping out the double AWP. Lucky's been able to count. Calls 2 cross B, and Glaive suicide straight down. He wants to go with this. They're trying to punish this B defense. They're about to be very quick on the heels of this 2-man defense. There's no rotation available. They're still hard committed long. Maybe the aggressive long doors push could have something to contribute.
They haven't hit the go here. The fact that they've stalled out is a bit of a problem. That space is being taken now. just stalled out. Util back and forth.
Flustered, yeah, back to tons. They've got no ground. Nothing to celebrate. ZywOo has had time to return to the long door. Shadow advantage for Kyojin. That will be the equalizer with the FAMAS v AK. Lucky Boy smoke out of Magisk. This will keep feet planted, enable you to execute through it, flash through it if you desire. Does keep shox guessing on the AWP. It's a good counter to his current position. They just fly out.
Behind this.
Walk up behind it, exactly. He's pre-aiming the boost. They're coming. Oh, does lose his head. Magisk, a big entry into the site, and that's a double from the Dane. Stick a fork in that.
Yeah, they have to save here, right? You bang on with that double AWP investment. You can't risk going for this and immediately lose the site. You're going to see a lot of this on a map like Dust2. Lose those opening kills. And if they just committed to that mid to B, you're thinking as well, it would have been a perfect call. They had so much space. You like the way that they've operated by getting all that mid room. So they drop down, they do the boost in suicide with the AWP to make sure that nobody's pushing mid, nobody's fighting mid. And then as soon as it's called clear, they just trundle on down. So I like the pace from Astralis there, but same thing again, it's just a contact walk, right? This is such an interesting game of Counter-Strike to see it unfold like this. There's no like setting the pace in terms of strategies. There's no like really conditioning the opponent with certain maneuvers. It's just walk on in, you hit the opening kill, and you find the second, well, that's it. Bomb goes off. Astralis do get there first. There's lots of cash over there for Vitality, right? So no dramas as far as a buy goes. Masuda's got plenty. ZywOo can drop a gun if they want to do the double AWPs, even enough money to do exactly that. So we will see another full gun round coming on out, but that felt way too easy. And Magisk, that was some beautiful shooting out of him. shox isn't going to opt for the AWP again. They will just be getting him a rifle in hand, the M4A1S variety. Util pretty good, kit's in play, and here's that boost again. This time turning their attention over towards B early.
I think they used a HE to cross, very retro. The black smoke visible just for a second on the fade.
Well, this time a bit more heads up, right? They're not letting them creep in, they're not letting them play any games behind the smoke. Hinchswat dropped, and ZywOo quick on the flick, but no damage done. Just a standard default posturing now as Glaive mantles on up through the Xbox short control. Next on the agenda here. Rally of nades back and forth. But it is just poking and prodding. No clear intention just yet as the bomb has greeted towards the mid doors as well. A minute remaining on the clock here, and they do have enough utility to go for a mid to B or a short play again with the pack locking down middle.
Yeah, well, you might get that exec you were hoping for.
dupreeh walks out mid, right? He might be able to catch one slipping if they push down towards mid doors. ZywOo posted up. He should have a good chance now. They might quickly go up short.
They're trying to maybe rush down the AWPer. Apex trying to confirm things early. He doesn't spot a thing. Mid to B. Again, they want to punish shox and Masuda. Masuda beat them on the pistol. Can he do anything here? Baited in nicely. Does get 1.5. Need more shox. Need more. And he gets toyed with. ZywOo does line one up straight through the smoke. Spanks the bottom of dupreeh. Bomb down. Do they play for the retake?
Apex is close already.
Glaive, should he peek again? He might catch
That's
ZywOo.
teammates Molly.
Just in the molly as he retreats. Tagged up on the doors. They're grouping up to go for this. There's lots of util. What's going on? He's been shot in the back. Apex, his eyes were averted from the site. Lucky looking to survive. He's on the big box. It's only Lucky now. ZywOo's hitting some great shots, and now Lucky. Oh, ZywOo burned down. Lucky actually gets the clutch. What killed him? The flames? A fumbled nade, fall damage? That is a weird way to go down. It looked like they'd found all the frags necessary. Lucky isolated 2 players to hunt him down. There's time to defuse. We'll have to see that one again.
There's been some real awkward moments in this game here today. And that one, just add that to the tally, add that one to the list. How did that go down? How did that unfold? I don't blame them for wanting to take a timeout here. This was the ZywOo through the smoke. So jumping, spots him, lines it up, through the smoke, through the wall.
So he had an incendiary. Gets the shot.
So that's the molly in the sight. So he drops in the flame, just licks him on the way on in. Oh, the 1G. Summit will be proud.
Oof.
Yeah, and that one right there was a round that it was unlikely for Vitality to contest until ZywOo gets that trade kill up towards window, right? And then they're spurred into it, right? Then they give it a crack. So Astralis gifted a little bit of a opportunity here. One more round on the trot. They will break Vitality. They'll make it so they can actually start to put a few more rounds on the board here. Same boost coming out. Lucky on his teammate's head. And, oh, not taking a pot shot. Very reserved.
Very. But happy just to get given the count, Magisk. He knows what he's working with and working against.
They're baiting these smokes out early, so that's dropped very early over towards the B side of things. And Glaive, he's on a bit of a walk here. Apex not ready for this. And oh dear.
You lucky soldier.
Now a bit of a change here from Astralis, taking space a bit quicker. You can see just how much that caught Apex off guard, and they're going to call the big man ZywOo over to lock things down.
He does mantle up. He'll have a sight line. And he's going to peek around this. Glaive does go down. Not expecting that re-aggression from the AWP. Immediately, ZywOo looks to reposition. They could both throw these Vanguard smokes.
I think they heard him drop spawn. So if they do this, it's perfect. There's no AWP going to be at car to stop this.
Yeah, it's only going to be up to Apex, and he's not really got much to defend his...
Oh, they're coming back!
No, they're coming straight into ZywOo. He can't believe his luck. He puts the bomb down. That will channel them elsewhere. They're flashed and worried. Pull up their socks, head back to short. ZywOo will eat the flash. Oh, never mind. He's got vision, and he's missed his shot. Magisk has pulled them right back into a potential competitive 3v5. And look at them. This is like a pendulum. Back and forth. CT's left guessing, loud now and light on time.
It's mid to be, the bomb's there.
Yeah, but it's a FAMAS and MP9. What are you supposed to do? Magisk is so sharp today. Posts his 7th, leaps into shox. Shox doing it all if he can. Just string together two. He's pulled the round out of his bottom. MP9, 2 AKs barreling towards him, and he gets them both.
You can just see that they're just trying to play the rotations. Really just trying to play the rotations right there. And I thought they heard ZywOo drop to spawn. I guess not, because they've gone back for the mid to B. The repositions caught them off guard, thrust them over towards A, and then back they go again.
Shox' first 2 kills as well. Like, he hasn't been having a world of a fun over on that B site. You've been talking about it, you know, conditioning them. They've been dropping their nades early. We saw him miss his AWP shot and get run down. Magisk's double.
Yeah, another a good round from Magisk here as well, though, right? Like, this is how it started. ZywOo peering around the smoke, being brave, and wanting to play for info. I really feel this matchup between these two teams is all about the information, right? It's all about how much information you can have to get yourself in the right position, and this is great from Shox. He's under so much pressure here, up against the rifle. It's a great gun in that circumstance, and, well, we go back again. Scoreline 4-2. Timeout taken for Astralis now. And they can buy. You can see that already starting to manifest. The only one yet to purchase is Zip. Probably waiting for the marching orders of what utility required for the next round to play. A lot of calling of the bluff here. Both sides with the AWPs. Long spawn for Glaive here, so if he wanted, he could go for a little bit of a play. Only has that Deagle. He's going to need the support of his teammates' flashes to help them get on out. There's the AWP again. This time a bit more of a passive stance. Lucky doesn't have that info. They're posturing towards long. They're about to pop and go here.
ZywOo tested. Flash is perfect. He will pull the trigger all the same. Damage inflicted. Kyojin to be really tested here. The corner smoke. ZywOo will have to respect that. And actually, interestingly enough, Kyojin's dropped one of his own to take that blue bin fight.
It's going to stall him out for a bit.
Yeah. And now they know there's presence pit. Where is the support? Where is the flashes? He's just taking them dry. And that's something else from Apex. Him and the smoke have a trying relationship, but this time again, he opens up the account with the double. Stolen
Glaive's superpower here, I think, in this series.
Certainly, but Magisk is pretty damn super as well. But today, just ducking under the crosshair of Magisk is Masuta. And that damage inflicted earlier on their long advance is still echoing into this round. As Apex call out the information present, Apex knows where one of the two are. Likely an easy assumption to make is that long is lost. ZywOo's given that up.
They have 2 smokes, right? They can do the classic smoke wall here. They can drop one from afar. Looks like dupreeh wants to operate here with the AK-47 in his hand, so no AWP to oversee business. Now, they can creep up, and they can do this late, right? You don't have to do the set piece where it's so telegraphed. They can walk up, drop them, and then cross. Now, they will have to deal with ZywOo's AWP.
Okay, what's his reaction to this? In Gandalf tuck in. Nade on ramp. Just a little bit of chip damage. It's all about the denial of this plant. And they're hunting for Gandalf. They're running towards ZywOo. He does get spotted out. They're closing the gap 10 seconds. You have to take a shot and does take one with him. No hope for dupreeh. What are you supposed to do? Plant for cash. Doesn't get that either. Vitality 5, Astralis 2. And they handle business.
Oof, good stuff there to get the AWP back in the hands of ZywOo. He was just very reserved on that. Just kept his head tucked on down and even gets one for his trouble. So now, question marks for Astralis here in that buy department. They were already at the bottom of the barrel with that investment there. You knew Glaive was only into a pistol, and now it is going to be a scout for dupreeh. But this double from Apex, right? Like, the amount of kills that he's had in this series through the smoke is mental. You go back to Nuke, you go back to Vertigo. He was just getting constant kills through the smoke. And this time round, dupreeh will find the tag on Masuta. Blood could be spotted on the back there, so I don't know if they've done damage or not, but they're going to try a pacey change again, and they made this work on Vertigo. They changed the pace, they pushed up, and they went quick. ZywOo to be tested again.
Okay, it's going to come down to the util they throw out to force him back. I mean, I say util, what is it, a flash?
It's going to be the bodies, that's what they have.
Oh, God. And that's the counter util already. Okay, bait, switch, swing. Threat of the scout. High flashes for his repeaks. He is posting the numbers necessary. ZywOo just has a lovely shooting gallery cleaning up. dupreeh to counter with a rebuttal. Missed shot shy of the mark. He does find the second. Some style points for dupreeh. He out-orbs ZywOo. With the 1700 version, Masuta just in the blind spot. dupreeh snaps into another head. Careful now. Vitality vulnerable, shocks the flank. He will be silenced. dupreeh, though, no slouch.
Huge round. Just the scout constantly finding those heads right there. Some great shots from dupreeh. And that was a very, very limited investment. So keeping these rounds highly contested here.
Yeah, Vitality still does, penny pinching. Looking under the sofa cushions to make sure they can get everything through.
Yeah, they did drop a couple of extra HEs in spawn there for Apex. So he got a couple of those out to do some utility damage here. But this was great from ZywOo. You can see the repositioning on the fights. And then dupreeh, well, he comes alive here.
The third is very stylish onto Masuta as well. So, aggression, starting it off, straight away, back into the fray. Down goes Apex this time, but shox responds with aggression, and he's threaded the
found the gap, he's found the gap. Oh, this is huge.
Okay. Zip is going to be lining up a nade. So that should be a free frag. He's going to be coming a lot when he hears this. dupreeh long door side. They're going for like a B-tons heavy lean. shox will hear this. He's already so far pushed up. They're not ready. He's really under their skin.
Oh, he hasn't heard it. He hasn't heard it.
He will now. And ZywOo spots him out. He's lost all the power now. It will slow him down at the bare minimum. The rotate's on its way, and down he goes. shox gets nothing out of that.
The gamble stacking B off the back of this. Or Astralis going to stick to their guns. If they have these three postured in upper dark and they continue forward, it will be into the stack of Vitality.
But if they have the presence of mind, they'll let and wait for dupreeh to have a little look. They'll consider that as a possibility. Glaive commands the troops to bide their time, reposition.
So I was in mid with the AWP here. He could stop this if he's quick.
He at least has their Xbox rotate. Hinge smoke's a possibility, but they're just doing it.
He gave up the mid doors.
He gave it up.
That
they
has
won't
to
get
be the round.
Any answers now. Yeah, you're right.
They're just going to walk in right now, Astralis, right? You can see this. There's the pressure on the long corner. They've come up short. Nobody's home at this point. You have a very good idea that it is going to be the gamble stack, but you just want to make sure it is clear. Molly's for the site. In they go. And Vitality, they don't really have any choice right now. They're just forced into this. They took a gamble. It didn't pay off. shox there. It was just the smallest of margins, right? It's just the absolute smallest of margins. The fact that ZywOo returned to that position to look on down mid, and then dupreeh ready and waiting. They snapped that one shut. And that was after the opening that Zip got towards that long corner. Apex went down within the early stages of that. The first 15 seconds, he was dead. Astralis will bounce back with their third.
And with what shox had managed to pull off there in terms of just catching a timing, the long doors holder not active as Zip gives up mid to go line up his smoke, you'd think he'd been able to build something on the back of that. But yeah, caught out. Zip gets that info safely. dupreeh can react, and Vitality lose their potency.
It felt to me like he wanted to make sure that they couldn't go towards mid, right? Whereas if he had just stayed and hedged towards spawn, then he probably doesn't get a kill or any info, right? So you could see with the decision-making, they wanted to make himself useful. That death was really the undoing of the round. Now, the saved guns do get Vitality back in a position of a buy. But there's an omission. Apex is down to the Famous here. Full util, however.
This could really be a gap closer now for Astralis. They're going to boost Lucky up for the cross. He's pretty passive. Bit of a passive fist. And as he does have a look, he meets ZywOo's fist. Straight to the jaw. Lucky gone. Orping presence. Overwatch cancelled. And the smoke. He's going to keep going. dupreeh, the spearhead here. And glaive's clawed one back. He's actually picked up the AWP and done what Lucky couldn't. Kyojin stands vigilant though on long. That's locked down. And they have to go back to the drawing board. And mid seems to be the object of their affection. A 2-2 split of Vitality's defense. Masuuta's still got a real sack of util, so should they go late B, that's going to be a tough one. Magisk would love to force something early.
In this 4-on-5 situation, it's very likely Vitality just play a 2-2, and that's the setup they're currently in, right? It's very difficult to get back across those mid doors, especially now, you know, glaive has the AWP. You got a couple of options here if you're Astralis. You could group up, do an AX, you have plenty of nades to do exactly that, and you know that the AWP isn't in play, right? ZywOo's down. So you can get into that site, but it looks like mid to B.
Well, they cleared close doors at the bare minimum. Again, Masuuta and shox to be tested here. The util we talked about is dropped. Oh, Magisk just catches a stray. Only shox. Apex trying to be the hero. He nearly takes down Zip and at least starts what shox can't finish. glaive again contributes on the AWP and it's up to Kyojin. Straight on through. glaive gets
Spotted
the info
now.
and just going to save that AWP. Kyojin not interested, and that's Astralis breaking the bank. We're going to have a hero AWP situation.
I really thought right there after the ZywOo opener, it was just going to be one of those rounds that peters out for Astralis, right? We've seen them plenty of occasions. They lose an opening kill or two. They just walk around, and then the round just falls apart here. But glaive stepping up again, right? And he only has 2 kills to his name, but both of which came in this round, and that secured them their 4th now. He's been great in the first 2 maps of play. If he can come alive with more of that here on Dust2, the team are going to need it. That's impact. That's going to break Vitality right now. Lost bonus coming on through, sure. The saved AWP, that's the best thing they have to boast. But right now, you want to set ZywOo up. You want to put him in a position where he can be very active with that AWP to find as many kills for you as possible. They had 1900 as the lost bonus coming into this round, meaning if they take a save next round, they will be able to buy. But it's a rough spot to be in right now. That gap will close. Astralis looking likely to convert their 5th here if they can deal with this AWP.
Do you just let him off the leash, or do you really give him a bomb site?
Yeah, this is the type of situation where, you know, you want him to go for a pick. You want him to go for a fight and find you a kill. Oh, he's doing exactly that.
Oh, Magisk caught out aggression. Masuuta might lose the site, though. He's being run down. They're committing. ZywOo's AWP will be able to contribute. Can Masuuta get anything? The answer's no. ZywOo wants info. A boost might work. It could be potent.
Oh, they're dropping back immediately. This is quick decision-making right now. They're trying to go around the world. Apex is taking the space up mid.
The bomb is spawn, bro. If he keeps going,
dear.
If he keeps going and rounds this corner, he's got Magisk weapon to work with as well. And there's the bomb. Come on, Dan, work it out. No, he's got his knife out. Does tuck in time. Threatening now, at least to keep Astralis caged. They're pulling utility out, and now on the retrieval, bomb scooped up.
They're out of smokes now. There's going to be nothing for the B doors if they return to the site.
Lucky's
what
in.
a massive blunder this has been.
Lucky's in. glaive's waiting for this hunt. Oh, Apex is getting away with murder here. ZywOo will be there in time. This is the fight. This is the fight. He strikes. dupreeh gone. Bomb spotted on the commit. ZipX is in and Kyojin Steeg is in the feed as well. This will turn the tables right on around. A bomb to go down. glaive vision fading. A lurky smoke to crawl on in. The gap is held for now. Apex late from tons. glaive will be on notice. It's all about who strikes first. It's all about who strikes first. 4 versus 2. They've done a lot of the heavy lifting. Down goes Apex. Kyojin's his next victim. glaive again saving Astralis, and ZipX puts the cherry on top. Recovered. Between the two of them, they find all 5 in the 5th as well for Astralis. It was tense.
Oh, I'm so glad they can laugh that off. That could have been the game down there. Just the morale of the team. You made the right call, but you left the bomb at spawn. You had no smokes left to get yourself back across here. This is how ZywOo opened up the account. Magisk trying to do it safely. Just gets plucked out of the air, and this is when the smokes are faded. It's being thrown across. They grab that. Kyojin even finds this kill. It's a 2-on-4 situation.
Well handled. Incredibly well handled. It's glaive. This as well just seals the deal. Kyojin has nothing done. The gap in the smoke, you can understand why. But ZipX was drawn into it and profits from it. A CT timeout, Vitality just want to screw their heads back on tight. No warp in play now, despite ZywOo putting up such a fight.
That's crazy right there. I cannot believe they got away with that. They did everything right, other than leaving the bomb at spawn, right? They were in the site. They had to send so many players back just to get that bomb. Okay.
Last chance saloon now. It's still not ideal. A couple of foregone nades. Lucky this time is taking pot shots, but the numbers have been called, 2 across.
Bit more of a default spread here. Pressure long, they like to apply it. Kyojin up close just in case, and ZywOo tucked in for the anti-flash. The gap right now is short, but there's no pressure there just yet. Another lurk smoke to be dropped out towards the B site, and it's actually drawn the third man of Apex. He's the float on A all the way over towards this B bomb site. Worried about a mid to B or a B hit, the French. That lurk smoke is, well, been dropped, and Glaive's going to go all the way back. Regrouping with the rest of his forces towards top mid.
This long setup could be tested as well here. I mean, he's desperately trying to pull util out of them, but stubborn and light on. And shox does still get a face full of Magisk, who's been no slouch in opening that B bomb site, but it is back to long.
There's two here.
And Kyojin this whole time. Who takes first contact? Masuta's going to get info early. Kyojin wants to bait and switch. He'd love ZywOo to be the second component of this, when all eyes are drawn towards the pit. Kyojin, activated, surely. Needs to take an engagement, and does. Now ZywOo's turn to strike, and he has as well. Bomb loose. Vitality sail through round 12. And Apex confirms. You can see his mouth moving fast. And dupreeh's hunt met by a FAMAS between the eyes, all onto Magisk. He's been great for Astralis, but a 1v5 is just too much to ask. Bomb completely disconnected from him, and yeah, may as well keep hold of what he's got. He's got 3,800 as well to bring through to the next.
I can't believe they called a bit of a gamble there, Vitality. They had no information or short whatsoever, right? They just locked down long and they locked down B. Like Apex floating B early. They're so fortunate that Astralis ended long, because as soon as they get that second kill, the bomb's loose, the other part of the pack is completely detached. They can't get there in time. And look what Vitality get away with from this. They get the AWP into ZywOo's hands for free. An AK picked up for the likes of Kyojin. They're sitting pretty now, but this is still going to be a tense finish to the first half here.
For survival at the Major. Just seems mad that's happening day 7 for these two characters.
Yeah, timeout called for Astralis here. There's still a chance that they can win this half, right? It's 7-5 the scoreline. They have enough money to drop and get those guns working. Lucky's been given an AWP, and he's only got 2 kills to his name. I knew the pressure would be getting to some of the younger names in the server here today. But Kyojin, he's standing up. He has 10, so he's getting the job done here on Dust2. Now they can buy. ZywOo, this is when you want him. This is when you need him. 13 kills for him now.
11 of those are AWP kills. Been using it to great success when he's in his hands, and as you highlighted, they've recovered one. He's back to the weapon he's been finding the majority of his kills with. Lucky does not choose to engage, and a 3-2 split for now. Apex to smoke off the long. And secure it for the squad. Magisk, we all know his flight path now.
Oh.
But Masuta comes a knock-in. Xbox is smoked. Masuta, he wants to catch a timing on this. Magisk is housing any B aggressions. Apex started at A, returns to B. Masuta does find Magisk, and that is exactly what you were waiting for, looking to strike. Glaive brings the bomb up cap. We've got ZywOo and Kyojin responsible for this A site defense.
Oh, so much info right now. Oh, and they're ahead. Apex, he's aware. He's going to get the kill. dupreeh's down. They have to go towards A, but now all the info, and shox should get another one. Back turn, doesn't get the frag, and Zip, he's aware.
It's falling apart. Astralis got nothing left. It's only Lucky. And they're closing in thick and fast. A clean one from Vitality, and all of those woes over 2 rounds are completely null and void. Astralis are the ones now having to stomach a bleak financial situation, and this is at the tail end of their T-half. It could really spell trouble.
Here's the deal, right? They can just take a save right now, just a partial investment, but that means Vitality are very, very likely to get up to that 9th round. And then we'll see the guns come out for the final round of the first half here. So we're going to be battling for what should essentially be a 9-6 scoreline for the Danes. Flash out long, pressure applied. Kyojin's going to peek.
Yeah, and that's the end of him. Glaive deciding he could maybe do more with the Deagle. ZywOo's going to have a whole squad against him. He has to hold this firm. Light on util. Shox in support. ZywOo to be tested. Glaive has done so much, but ZywOo has to do so much more. A missed shot. It's getting awkward now. Vitality, they lost one of these on Vertigo. A light investment. Now an AK to be juggled, an M4 for good measure. This could still fall apart, Chad.
You can drop back if you're Astralis now. You can take your time on this. Masuda close doors. There's still dupreeh top mid. And looking for info. The Glock's going to spot it, but that's all he can do. He can only spot it, and that's going to push them forward on long into ZywOo.
More. A whole lot more. He flashes for himself, wants to take it, get the answers, get the info, get the frag. Lucky's his next victim. Bomb loose, round save. ZywOo has delivered when it matters most. 4 kills on the AWP, and I mean, that could so quickly have spiraled out of control. You can see Xtaz just trying to contain his emotions after that one, because I'm sure he was on the bloody edge of his seat.
Yeah, just giving up those 2 kills so early towards long. You could see it happening as well, though, right? Like, Glaive's had to hit bangers, but with the way that these rounds have gone down in the past against Vitality, you have a great idea. And look at all the space. Like, Apex is... Oh, okay.
Glaive's doing it again. Doesn't matter what weapon you put in his hands. He seems to be finding first blood, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop for anyone. Shox, a whole team. 1 minute 40, and they're knocking on his door. He's taking some risks. He's calling for help. Apex and Shox, the old boys, trying to teach him some new tricks. He repositions. They're all flashed, and that's the end of that. A massacre for the 10th. The French are up, out of their seats. What a recovery. Astralis try and throw some pace into the mix. Richard Papillon, the graceful butterfly, repositions in the flash.
You could see how blind he was. His crosshair was nowhere in the right place. It was up in the bloody sky right there. Everybody completely flashed as they're trying to come out through the smokes there and locking him down, locking him out. 10-5, the scores read. And of course, ZywOo at the tippy top of that. 18 kills for him.
Astralis 5. They need an 11-round half here on the defense.
Oh, quick little B-stream update for everybody playing at home. The next team to qualify for the arena was Gambit. They 2-0'd NIP. So NIP are in that 2-2 column, and the only Swedish representation, well, other than Olof, has to play tomorrow to get to that Avicii arena. But here we go. Aggression up mid on the pistol. Fast from dupreeh wanting to take the fights.
It's predicted now. ZywOo's P250 does smack Glaive down and out. A follow-up flash to close the gap. Chasing him down. dupreeh fights his way out of trouble. Hard to track. He's committed to Xbox, and ZywOo can't seem to find the head. The first was stylish. Re-aggression on towards Cat. Lucky tucked on in. And we'll go looking for answers. Long a part of that. Apex takes some serious space, and
that car clear though. Oh, and Lucky's pushing up mid. The reaggress. They're waiting for him.
They're still waiting for this. And Lucky spotted. Can't track him. Kyojin struggles. ZywOo doesn't. Even out now. 3 versus 3. Now they are heavily, heavily committed to this A site. Getting across the doors can be tough. That's ZywOo's responsibility to track. And just as he mantles up, Magisk does get across. Pick your poison now, Vitality. It's 8. Oh, tip of the head. Zipex has clicked nicely onto Apex. It's up to ZywOo for the rebuttal. Goose Corner is a threat. Zipex baiting dupreeh to strike, and dupreeh does. ZywOo, multiple targets. He can't find their head, and Astralis do recover oh so nicely. dupreeh to thank for that. think he leaves with 3.
I think it was Zip that they had at the car the entire time there, because Apex got into pit and threw a fake towards A, but they immediately knew it wasn't A because they had a player behind car who just poked up his head and said, yep, it's clear. So that right there for Vitality is where the wheels fell off, right? They didn't really have anywhere that they could go because Astralis had a great idea of where they were going to be. Now it is going to be just Apex going into the scout, P250 for shox here, and that's a tag. Kyojin down to 1 HP immediately into lower his glaive, and well, he might be able to find a couple of kills here because just on the other side of the tunnels are multiple members of Vitality.
See what you got, Apex? Well, a bullet in his belly button. That's what he's got. And the aggression as well. Glaive has tunnels on lock. And Magisk has their entrance covered. The shadow advantage. Easy collections. Quick $600 injected into his finances. And yeah, this one to peter out.
Just to note here, Apex opting to go with the scout. It's likely he goes with that again in the next round because Vitality have stayed conservative in this one. So we should see the AKs or the Galils come out in the next. And Astralis, if everybody stays alive, then you have the question, do we upgrade Zip and Glaive into something a little bit more potent? You'd love a kill or two if you are the French right now, and the tag is a great place to start. Still lots of time on that clock.
Glaive can work around this smoke. Oh, and just enough vision to finish what Lucky started onto Apex. Kyojin does find a little bit of a dink into that helmet of the Danish leader, but that falls flat. No lethality from the light buy. Gap will close. The pistol and its conversions. It's the first step to Astralis really pushing the envelope here on the third map for survival.
We've already seen them go aggressive towards lower dark and upper tunnels on that round right there. So let's see if that stays as a common theme. The AK is being brought on in now. Apex not opting to go for the scout. He's actually gone with the deagle. Kyojin has a good long spawn right now. And away we go. Long corner. Smoke lobbed on out from shox. The flashes to follow through. And they're actually going to push into lower dark again here. So a lot of info early.
Yeah, the French surely going to get rumbled here as long as Glaive does buy time. And they're slow enough about this. Called it clear. Magisk has taken liberties. He'll be back on A in time. He's actually just mantled up the Xbox and joins Lucky, now staring down. And just as they leave the smoke, finishes the job. Kyojin eventually. The flashes are turned. Magisk tucked in. It is this bonus round, but the bonus SMGs are connecting and chipping further away. A 4 versus 3. Do they really want to keep going?
They're
the full stack.
Yeah, they're stuck to this now. They have no info top mid, right? They have no info at all. They have to stand and fight. In Apex, some warning shots exchanged. Oh, dupreeh, what are you doing, my friend? Oh, stuck on the movement.
Goodness.
Whoo!
He's very low now, 20 HP, susceptible to HE. Boost on up. The cut of noise will lead to Astralis asking some questions, but it's likely they just edge their bets, and they are. No smokes, just walks. Car. First question answered. The wall of smoke's up. Counter util deployed. And there's more where that came from. If they throw the second incendiary on top of that, there won't ever really be a chance to fully sweep up that ramp prior to the phase.
Spotted.
Magisk trying to play around it. It's a powerful, potent one-way. He's been spotted now, and that's the spray from Kyojin. Round defining, I think. Astralis running out of options. No denial of that plant. And call it 11.
That's the bonus, right? It's the bonus scenario right there. So it's not the end of the world, but it just felt, right, they had the right stack going in, but Lucky goes down. They just actually crept through the smoke, and it's very Vitality, right? It's very Vitality to go for that type of a maneuver. If it's an AWP, right, Lucky connects, maybe he gets a couple right there, and well, their first round could fall away. But they do get the better of them right here, and they are going to get to hold on to these upgraded rifles for dupreeh. That M4, he doesn't want to let that one go. Zip. The MP9, I'm sure he'd love to get anything else right now, but there's going to be enough cash. dupreeh's going to be able to drop an M4. Glaive's going to be able to buy. Magisk's going to be in that same position. Zip could go for an upgrade as well if he wants. Now, it depends. Are we going to see the AWP prioritized here? Because I do believe that Glaive has enough to buy an AWP right now. So we're about to see how much Astralis believe in Lucky in this game plan.
You know, in that interview, they said ZywOo has to show up. Well, I think 6-0 in opening duels, 7 multi-kill rounds, and 22 frags is a check in that box. Astralis, admittedly, have definitely got the sleep out of their eyes as well. Quite a damning opening death stat for Glaive, but he has been having impact, and Magisk to be tested here. ZywOo, the first man out. And there's going to be bloodshed everywhere. ZywOo just with the SMG. Oh, ZywOo upgrades and destroys 3 frags on their commitment. Vitality shaken. B is only defended by the one man, but they don't know that, and looks to me like they're walking straight on into Lucky's domain. Only a scout. Loud on his rotate glaive, and Lucky has hit the first and the second, 2 consecutive to secure the 8th. Only shox stands in his way. A nice click, an 8k for good measure. He'd love the plant. Glaive is just coming close.
Oh, that's a flash, not the smoke.
It's a plant. And it's a tap. Oh, Shoxy. He's been swung on. Glaive will secure it. Style points for sure. Makes them sweat a little more, but there you have Astralis right, bite straight back.
Yeah, I've seen enough shox around like that before, mind you, so I was getting some flashbacks there for a second, but wow, just that positioning of Glaive again. His movement from Glaive there was what actually drew Apex out, expecting the rotation, right? But Lucky was standing and delivering. It is going to be a timeout called from the French. They're 3rd here within this final map of play, and it's close again. A close best-of-3 series. The money situation for them is, as we do take a look, Masuta, Apex, ZywOo, and shox all have enough to buy. Kyojin should be fine as well for this one. So not too many dramas, but they need to work out how they want to march forward in this. It was a great first half. Number 10-5, and well, it's amazing how quick that scoreline can quickly dwindle away. This was huge, wasn't it?
I mean, 1 is fine. 2, something else.
Oh.
3rd, Masuta just emerging out of the smoke, and that transfer, crispy. Fresh out of the pizza oven.
Oh, they've gone all in for this. AWP's out for both sides of things. Where's the difference maker going to be?
Boosted ZywOo, nothing to report. They've actually expended one of their CT smokes to get across unspotted, regardless of the change. And there's some more deep and early CT utility.
Well, they're going to get this lower dark control for free, so they could put a lot of pressure on short or mid early here. We can see the setup for Astralis very passive towards those 2 areas. Glaive's already rotated back in, and he's feeling this one out.
This cross back late is what ZywOo is responsible for.
Oh!
Jumping to survive. Masuta's hinge smoke costs him 70 damage. Takes that one on the chin.
Everyone tries that. It's very rare you see that much damage, unless it's the AWP with a quick flick. But more spamming the nade as well.
Masuta,
It might be perfect. Oh, down to 17, just peppered.
Gets away with it. It's a big round now. Masuta still could catch one. The HE's got his name on it. Oh my lord, he gets away. Just evades that explosion. They really want long. shox is going to try and sell a mid to B here.
Lucky can't miss.
Lucky's got to bank this one, and oof, between the 2 of them, swinging out. ZywOo isolated, the supportive flash will come in. Catches his teammate as well, and that's not quite enough. Apex dinked, lives on. They are walking into Glaive and Lucky. An even trade. Need this one. Misses his chance, and the shox allowed to reposition. He's burning down. Still takes the pot shot. Now falls all onto Magisk, but it's so doable, and that's the bomb. That's the bomb. This is it. Throws it across. 10, 9, just picks it up. 7. Can he deny? Can he deny? Safe plant. Trying to chip away. Catches him on the jump, and Apex is next. Magisk comes up clutch when it matters most.
Huge. Absolutely mental.
Oh, sheesh kebab. They had to throw it across. He's planting safe through the box. shox doesn't get it. And Apex are sitting duck. Magisk holds his nerve. Oh, brilliant play. Vitality are going to be remembering that one.
The jump as well. He's already given away his position. Right, he's already given away his position on the first to spam through the box, and then shox. He just goes on down. Apex is low from that early exchange, and it comes on in. Magisk again with some massive impact.
He does not want to be eliminated right here, right now. He's throwing it all on the line. What a play. Look what it's done to them. They have to stomach a half buy.
That could be a game changer right here. This is looking like double digits now for Astralis.
Look what he's done to them. They're fumbling, they're second guessing, they're faffing around in spawn.
Testing B, dupreeh's pushing in. That's been heard.
Oh, warning shot. shox bleeding. That'll leave a mark. They didn't necessarily spot the bomb. Tell a lie. Kyojin did have it, so no rotate just yet.
It's a deep lurk smoke right there. They should be able to call that clear. And look at this push from short. They can lock this mid to B down as a unit.
God, rounding that corner is a death sentence. They're also very quick to spring to life if Masuta can't corral them with his Tech 9.
They're pushing short right now. They're calling this clear. Masuta's not going to be ready for this.
Just like that, he falls. Running out of options now. dupreeh set for success. Magisk to spring in and they can just tuck it in. Great shots. 2 more from Magisk. Just adds more to his tally. Make it 15. Apex alone. Isolated and eliminated. Gap continues to close. You said it yourself, Chad. A 10-5 half. We set the bar as Astralis would need to respond with one better. An 11-4 T half. Excuse me, CT half. Vitality here on the T. Asking a couple of questions at this point. 3 plants out of the rounds of play. 6 have been played out. 3 successful entrances into the site. Magisk, clutch example of one that went awry.
Yeah, this is starting to become some real problems for Vitality now. Again, the AWP is out for ZywOo. Again, that smoke is to guys the cross. They've gone for a 4-man A-lean to lock down any long plays, and that's not where they're starting. They have nobody in B early. Astralis are playing games right now with the French.
They really are. dupreeh using that smoke to cross back after deploying the top.
Oh, Barrel must have been
Careful, dupreeh. On notice. 10 HP as they do return the spray. Hinge smoke flubbed.
Getting sketchy now.
Yeah, Vitality really are on the ropes.
They're walking out long.
Zips found impact here before. And he will struggle this time to do the same. Missed incendiary. Lucky needs to get out of dodge and does. Space taken. Smoke will buy respect. Glaive's. Oh no! shox has missed his chance. Glaive aware. Trying to reposition, trying to get away. shox and Glaive just have to call it quits. Back to CT.
Everyone's at A.
This is a very intense and high-stakes game of deathmatch. Crossing. Lucky. What? Pushes through. He's missed the shot. Nice through the smoke. It's even. Now the bomb now loose. It's up to ZywOo to get across. The smoke will give a safe passage. A 3 versus 2. Both in CT. It's not ideal, Chad. It's far from ideal.
Stalled out for longer here. dupreeh's actually going to jump up behind them. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to back off. They're calling the save. Just when it starts to heat up, Astralis. They're not willing to risk it for the biscuit in this one right now. And Vitality, they get another T-side round on the board, but you could just see Astralis are gambling massively here. Then with the 4-man lean, they called the bluff, the argy-bargy, the back and forth in the mid doors.
They played no 1B and lost on A.
Yeah, it's just right there. Those trades coming out in their favor. That long corner, you've seen both teams missing very simple nades. The hinge smoke misses from Masuta on the jiggle towards long. Zipex feels the pressure. He misses the molly as well. It's the little details right now, and you can see it heating up. And Lucky there, I don't know what the call was. I don't know if they told him to run on through, but taking a risk, runs into no man's land, and he gets drilled.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, Dust2 delivers when it matters most for both of these teams.
Oof,
all of that preparation ahead of the major, the qualification. You know, Astralis and Vitality were both in attendance at that last RMR.
Yeah, now we find ourselves with just 2 round the difference, a timeout called for Astralis here. They save those guns, but the finances, as they go back and forth, they have to have a discussion of how they're going to make the drops work. They can buy again, right? They definitely can. They can drop guns across, but it's unlikely they're going to have an AWP here on this CT side. But they've just gone for you're right, they just went for a 4-man A-lane. They gambled completely A in that whole round and they lost it. So what's the mix-up now? Do we go back to the upper tunnels aggression? Do we try and get a little bit cheeky? Do we push in towards lower? What do they do?
Do you just dismiss that as Vitality happened or we didn't hit our shots and go for it again? Vitality didn't see it necessarily.
Looks very standard right here. Mid-door molly just to deny any of those lower dark pushes.
Oh, ZywOo's going quick.
Very fast.
Oh, it's all onto this. Magisk defense. Ahead of the smoke, perhaps, and not far off on Magisk. A warning shot, that's all. That's all. Pulls a bit of a rotate, though. You can see Glaive maneuvering back through mid. Currently at 3-2 split of resources. It looks like the connection is once again having its issues.
Little bit wobbly here as we immediately go straight to some highlights of how this game's gone. So we'll just take all the intensity right out of that one. Hopefully, there's not too many dramas here now. It's hard to go from the 12-10 scoreline of being on the edge of your seat to the song and dance of the two entertainers on your screen here, but we're going to be juggling in a moment. So this is just an interval. I don't know if you guys have experienced like intervals in your cinemas. I learned that the other day in Malta. Apparently, you know, they just in the middle of the movie, they just
lights up.
Yep, off you go, guys. You can go get some more popcorn now. Go to the bathroom. So maybe, just maybe, you guys at home should do the same.
Yeah, Germany does that too.
Yeah, my mum told me they used to do that before I was born. So that was back in the 60s, I suppose.
It's a remnant from the theatre. You know, you always have a half-time break. Obviously, it's not called that. I'm just a gamer boy. It's called
interval.
Interval. Thank you.
Or intermission.
And so I was trying to say matinee, but that's just the early afternoon.
That is that's what we're doing right now. I'd say it's the matinee.
Yeah.
And then the evening performance this evening will be Virtus Pro taking on Mouse. What a gear shift this is just for my brain right now.
Yeah, no, we'll piece it together. As did these highlight package, just to fill you in on what you may have missed if you've just come to catch the tail end of one of these giants in the Counter-Strike world falling in the Legends stage. So, you know, it's a product of their own doing. I just think it's also worth reiterating how they ended up here.
Do you think we can sit down?
I don't know.
Maybe we can stand. Maybe we can sit. Look, guys, let's do what we did before. Send us some tweets.
I had loads.
Let's get some social media interaction going on here. That's one way to fill the time right now. We don't know how long this is going to be, and thank you for your patience. We apologize for this little technical issue.
Which country do you think would have the best national team?
Probably Denmark. They've probably got the biggest depth of talent. If you say the CIS region, that's just not one nationality.
Yeah, fair.
But you could start building, like you'd have Simple and Bit. That would be the start of the Ukrainian squad.
And if you asked that question to me a couple of years ago, I'd probably say Kazakhstan. You know, like,
sure.
Don't forget Gambit domination stations, and they did just lock themselves in for the next stage of competition.
Yeah, we had Adren and Hobbit from there, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of names from that region. Yeah, guys, tweeted us at Sponge, at Machine
I
GG.
feel very unprofessional staring at my phone, just looking for your question.
We need to do something. We could, like, if production were ready, they could have whacked up that Renegades vs Titan game. Somebody at home thought they were really cheeky, and then they tweeted, "Oh, but you lost to Alu on." Yeah, well, we weren't very good, but we did beat Titan.
Let them have that.
Yeah, come on now. I got one win. Let me have the one win. Like, give me something. Don't take it away from me.
It's our knee-jerk reaction as well.
Yeah, but you lost.
Yeah.
But I did play at a major. What about you? Yeah. You know who I'm talking about. I'm sure you're watching this
Making your frag movie on bloody Windows.
Wait, hold up.
With your unregistered hypercam.
Oh, game live soon.
Hello.
Game live soon. That is the information. So, okay. Let's just get, game live soon, let's get everybody back. We started on Nuke, right? That was the very first map of this series right here. It was Astralis' pick, and it started very, very flat for them. Glaive, lucky, they had some pretty good moments. They made it a double-digit scoreline. Okay, semi-respectable. We move on over to the next map and play Vertigo. We're thinking, oh, this one's done and dusted. The French are going to get it done. And then it's looking great. 14-6 for Astralis. They're looking like they're going to close this one out. And then it gets a little bit nervy. We go all the way back to 16-14 as the scoreline. And they get across the line to take us to this third, which has been a very back-and-forth affair. I think one of the highlights right now has to be Astralis leaving the bomb at spawn, but then still winning the round. And Magisk with the 1-on-2 with the jumping Silent Stem 4, and then the shot onto Apex. Those are my highlights so far.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. I mean, the Magisk clutch, definitely a little bit of a heartbreak for Vitality, but also huge boon for Astralis when I mean, this is it. The chips are down. You've got your major life in the to be determined, up for debate in the next 20-30 minutes of play. I hope.
Yeah, well, let's see if I can connect. You know, I'm going to walk over here. I'm going to see if I can join the Go TV and bang, and then maybe we can just get this one underway, because that round, we don't know if it ended or if it didn't.
True. We're
going to learn with you. So once we do get back into the server, the scoreline was 12-10.
What we do know is we can continue.
Vitality won that round.
Vitality won.
All right, guys. Unless it gets match medicked, which I'm not sure, but the last time out is being called from Astralis here. So we'll have to catch that one in the demo, I suppose.
Now, what I wanted to say, the final point of our little
Here we go.
was the fact that Astralis had 2 back-to-back grudge matches that got under their skin, to the point where, of course, they only posted 8 rounds and 2 best-of-1s. Here in the Legend stage, Nip, then straight into Heroic, the 2 teams they've been trifling with in and out of the server. And it comes down to this, 13 to Vitality, 16 the magic number. Finance is bleak. Lucky's been able to be equipped with the AWP. ZywOo, I think he might have something lying around, or it might just be that Deagle making it, facilitating his teammates there. So boosted up, ZywOo takes a pot shot and calls it quits.
I can tell you how that last round went. Apex got 2 opening kills on the Glaive and Lucky. Shox took down ZywOo. They planted the bomb, and then dupreeh and Magisk saved.
Okay.
So there you go, we're up to date, guys, with the best info we have.
Ooh, lovely find, and there's more where that came from. shox not expecting dupreeh. He bode his time. He sat by the doors, waited for the initial engagement, and then, oh, walking through the smoke. Apex clothesline, this one's done. Astralis immediately back into the fray. A Deagle and a UMP, the saved rifles saved them.
They just have one fight they have to win initially here on this Ace site. That is going to be against Zip, but now that dupreeh has actually bolstered the forces, it does get a little bit dicey here. ZywOo's going to have a magic moment. Smoke and a flash.
He uses that flash to line up his molly. He wants to drop that for Goose. It's well placed. The util's not bad.
dupreeh's burning.
Sweet. Oh, and Masuta does catch one. Need the second. Tip of the head was spotted. Lucky long. 40 seconds. ZywOo could make magic happen here live. Struggling. P250 equipped. Lucky's his next victim, and not to be. Astralis will secure an 11th. And this is going to be a very competitive game now. Strap in for the long run. The gap officially closed. We talked about a 10-5 half. Well, that is just a thing of the past. Biting his nails off. He's not going to have much left. You can't fault him. Xtaz has to just stare into the abyss and the screens of his team.
Yeah, you think it was nervous before for the coaches. Now imagine you can't even make a peep here. So he's having to sit on his hands for this one. But Kyojin into a Deagle. ZywOo back into the AWP. Long control again. Astralis have been doing a lot of this four-man play over towards A to lock things down. And this time they'll get it without any resistance whatsoever. The bomb currently in upper tunnels. 3 players from Vitality clearing that out now. Masuta leading the charge here. See if he can get that hinge smoke down without a hitch this time. Pestering towards long. Bullets exchange. Zip has made his presence noted, and they're jostling back across now. They've been able to bolster the B bomb site with a second. Creeping on up, Cat, working their way towards A. They will need to jump over.
They're across. Uncontested. Very heavy long lean. The only real first responder will be Lucky.
They have to throw something. They can't go dry here. Bridge smoke.
Smoked off.
Flashes.
Yeah, but there's still vision. Lucky pulls the trigger. Masuta forced to watch.
Good nade.
Delays. Pulling the plug. Lucky commits for the retake. Zipex is partnered up with him. They will let that bomb go down and play the advantage.
shox could be huge.
Oh, we could. It's all about timing.
This could be massive.
Clear. 3 backs are turned. Apex delays them. Now shox can strike. Calls another. Glaive spotted. He has to make a decision now. Lucky and Zipex are long. ZywOo has vision just on the edge of the smoke. He needs another. Support is there. ZywOo plucks another from the pack. And the French post 14.
Oh, shox was instrumental right there. They lose the opening kill going into the site. Lucky does a lot from that car position, but it's not enough with that lurk. They all come through the mid door. Don't want to risk coming through CT spawn. And they lock them down with the crossfire. Getting fired up now. Here's Apex. Yeah. Just 2 more rounds to get this done.
You've been sat in that chair. An absolute roller coaster of emotions. And, well, they know what it means.
Oh, they've gone all in. Look at the buy. 2 scouts, a UMP and Deagles, and this is it to defend against 15. Astralis all in right now.
They got info. Look at shox's position. He knows that they're just going to have to give that up. You can't afford to contest it when the buy is so light. They don't have info on the force yet. Rejigging the setup.
Oh, this is going to be the hinge smoke. ZywOo's going to throw this out all the way back from T-spawn. We saw Elige doing this just the other day. Zip was one of the first... ZywOo was one of the first throwing this one out. It's going to land to perfection here and obscure the vision if they do want to push up Catwalk. Taking space off the back of that, but look at this passive stance from Astralis here. 2 towards the mid doors, 1 in the upper tunnels, and 2 over towards A.
What's even more impressive is that Elige was throwing it without a scoped rifle. Stiko giving us the insight, perhaps a set pause command, but too long. Magisk kept guessing courtesy of that smoke, but not forever. He's actually peeked out behind it.
They don't have any util to defend on A, and Magisk is taking space here. They have a great idea that this is going to be a long play.
And scouts don't suck on long. A nice long-range engagement. ZywOo's weapon is better.
45 seconds now. They might have to stick to their guns here, Vitality.
Well, we know this is how the French like to operate. It can be apparent. ZywOo gets his weapon. Dropping his nades. Flustered. Such a high stakes moment. 30 seconds. And the slow down smoke for the CTs to swing around and engage onto the ramp. Time sensitive mission. And here they come. Lucky, what have you got for us? 15 as the flashes rain in. The molly's not bad, clearing the side, but dupreeh strikes and Astralis. They're delaying.
10 seconds.
Apex needs that, gets it. dupreeh again contributes.
They have to
time.
plan.
Now he can't. Magisk is denied. There's no time. No time. Astralis take it on the force. They brought in UMPs, scouts, Chad, and they defend it. Vitality, they trip, they fumble.
That's one of the best opportunities they'll have in this entire game to get to that 15 mark, because now they're able to pick up a couple of... Oh, he got the AWP. That's all he got. That's all ZywOo got right there was the AWP. Oh, dear. The timing, just waiting until so late. They were waiting for any aggression. They didn't budge. dupreeh, that was brilliant. They just... Look at this as well, just keeping the head tucked. They're back in this.
Oh, baby.
Look at the buys for both teams. Look at the push.
Look at him. You bully. Straight in. Takes down Kyojin. ZywOo shut down, and he's just taken the round. The hero AWP denied. He can tuck tail now. He's set. Set for success. On the retreat. Apex on the hunt. Loses his head. Astralis closing this gap even further. Oh, my.
Everybody getting a chance on this AWP. shox has picked it up now. They have to do some damage here, right? Vitality, the name of the game at this point is just making sure everybody from Astralis doesn't walk away with a gun. Take something away. The shot just misses. But more information here. With a minute and 10 left on the clock, where are they meant to go? A tag. But goes both ways, and Lucky wins that duel.
He was not deterred. And 13 secured.
Looks like we're going the distance here. There's enough money right now for Vitality to buy again. Right, they're able to get this one out. They're able to purchase on in. They took that light investment the last time out now, called for the French. They can definitely buy here, but there won't be an AWP for ZywOo, who has 27 kills to his name, just 3 shy of that 30. On the other side of things, Magisk and dupreeh, they're the ones kicking up a fuss. 22 for Magisk, 20 for dupreeh. Apex is trying to have a game of things. He's found 19 kills. shox is on 17. 14-13, the scoreline reads, and still the buy looks a bit rough around the edges for Astralis. Glaive, UMP, MP9 for Zip. That scout is still in play.
They've made it work before, Chad. Lucky's definitely looking like no slouch on that scout. Gonna have to continue to deliver, though, at the crunch moments. Magisk steps up, as he has consistently for his squad. This round could have spiraled. Yes, I know, perhaps. Stop screaming about those lighter buys. A saved AWP on ZywOo. Magisk just immediately nullified that round and its threat. These guys have played tens of thousands of rounds of Counter-Strike, but these ones do have the additional weight of their major hopes and dreams.
This looks different. Apex is trying to sell everything on his own here.
Okay. New game plan. Xtaz previously on the mic forces Lucky out of that info
It's a fast mid to be.
It's a fast mid to be, sure, but Glaive's taken down Apex's cell. And there's more damage inflicted onto dupreeh. He does drop the incendiary.
Rotation's
the push
coming.
Straight through. No one's looking. Glaive slips through. It's up to ZywOo. Catches the first. It's chaos, pandemonium.
They're stalled out.
Sight. They need to break through. It's dupreeh. Strikes again. Masuta down. It's up to shox. He has the bomb. Will he clear his corners? Head turned. Does put one into the eardrums, but they need to find dupreeh, and they will. In. The site now theirs. Bomb to be planted. The gap closed quick. Lucky and Zip. A smoke, a kit. It's a good retake setup. So much riding on this one, a 2v2. The stakes never been higher for this game. A wingman. Who strikes first? Sound cues. Smokes. ZipX connecting the bullets. shox is wounded. His limbs hanging off. He's just got to hold on. The time is on their side. Zip tagged, body bagged, and 15 is secure. My God, the tiniest of margins separating these two teams.
Oh, they got stalled out for so long. They just had to sit, and you never want to be in limbo on the mid to B, stuck outside those doors, because you know that rotation's coming. You know that the CTs are working that one out.
No one was looking. Glaive, if he had a rifle, that's probably 2 kills.
Oh,
he
the UMP.
Through. He's forced to try and retreat as he whips out a UMP, and a cursory glance from ZywOo spots him now. This is it. Defending champions of the previous major are on their backs.
Glaive's into lower here. UMP again. those bonus guns that they had in the last have facilitated a buy. Lucky has an AWP now. There is a chance for Astralis.
Get right flashbacks. Will it clear? Masuta will, but Glaive still gets the better of them. Apex is his next victim. He's got half 10 bullets left in the UMP. A supporting flash. He will profit. He extends play, whips out the AK. Vitality now in a bit of a downward spiral.
They're forced to long. Are they going to expect an AWP in play? Remember, Lucky still has that.
Oof. He's in mid though.
Oh, this could be huge if Magisk tucks in. If he gets here in time, it's going to be a difficult clear.
They got mollies. But that would be a clear indicator of their final objective here. A 2-2 split after their defense. Zip in transition does get to tuck in as they swing.
They're going to hear the footsteps. Kyojin has to clear this. He has to clear this position.
He's looking at Car. Will he clear it? Will he clear it? Yes, he will. And Magisk loses his head. Surely the sight now too. This could be it for Astralis. 3 players. Glaive has pulled out all the stops. Zip, what have you got? The answer's nothing. Vitality 2 frags away from sending Astralis out of the Legend stage. Nade. Oh, it's well played. ZywOo beheads him. It's all onto Lucky. An AK and a dream. Or Astralis are left in the Legend stage. No Stockholm, no crowd. Lucky trying to kick and scream as best he can. One low. Shox is on 10 HP. The rookie trying to extend play. Gets the info towards the Goose position.
Halfway gone.
He's paranoid about long. He's got to commit now. ZywOo, he's the one to secure it. Astralis eliminated by Vitality right down to the wire. 29 rounds on Dust2. A hard-fought battle. And the job's not done. Sweat off the brow for sure. Defending champions will not be in the arena to defend their title.
Oh, elation there from Vitality. You can see what it means to get across in 2 close games of Counter-Strike.